So if you haven't noticed already, I've actually changed the name of this YouTube channel from Look Mum No Computer, but more serious-ish, which was a really snappy name, to say the least, straight over to the Museum of Everything Else. Basically, the Museum of Everything Else was actually the name I had for Look Mum No Computer before it was called Look Mum No Computer. Basically, Look Mum No Computer was a zine, and before that it was a blog, and the blog before it was called Look Mum No Computer, it was called the Museum of Everything Else. Basically, it was because I had this strange dream that I've never thought was going to really happen, of opening a museum. So I thought the internet was a good place to start, and here I am in 2020 and I'm actually opening a museum. Very strange indeed, I know. And if you don't know, I'll tell you much more information as it comes. I chat about it a lot over on my Patreon vlogs and stuff, and needless to say, Patreon is making the museum a whole lot more possible. And I don't know, there's lots of ideas and stuff, workshops and this and that and the other. And if you want to know, or if you want to even support the endeavour, then go and check out the Patreon or stuff like that. Anyway, I digress. So basically, last week, maybe Wednesday or Thursday, I was shooting a video for my last song, Stand and Deliver. It's a new video, it's out now, so if you're interested, the links are below. And basically, I had to find a load of second-hand things that I wasn't that fussed about modifying, because I sort of bought new things like a microwave. I was going to make a microwave into this Cosmo, but then I couldn't bring myself to it because it was working and I couldn't find a broken one, so needs must. And so I went to this second-hand shop trying to find cheap things that were okay to sort of modify, sort of upcycle into a creepy animatronic doll. Lo and behold, the second-hand shops have only been open for about a week tops since the lockdown kind of eased a little bit. So there's been a relatively interesting influx of stock into them, and I kind of went the first day and I actually picked up some interesting things, and I'll talk about those very soon. But then I went to this other shop that I don't usually go to. It's a lot bigger, and yeah, the same thing was there. There was some very interesting things, and it just seems that not many people were interested in looking for second-hand rubbish. But I was. And lo and behold, this was sitting in the corner, this thing. And yeah, I was looking at it, I was like, no, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Because I said about a week ago that I'm not buying any more crap until the next month, because basically I went way over budget this month because I purchased the Russian valve synth that I did a video for the other day. Yeah, that kind of blew me over budget quite a bit, and I'm going to let people play on that synth. That's kind of why I bought it, and it was a prototype, and it just seemed like a good idea, and I was just thinking too quick enough. So this was there, and I just couldn't say no. Basically, it was about £60, I think. It was £60. I know it's a little bit steep for something you would go to a second-hand shop and buy crap, but well, basically, I have finally found an excuse to not feel so guilty about my hoarding addiction, and that is a museum. Now I can purchase these cheap and dodgy things and not feel bad about it because it's for a museum, right? Yeah, exactly. So people could come and look and stuff. So yeah, what is this? Well, in truth, I'm not really that sure. I mean, it is a switchboard, it is a telephone, but that is all I know. So basically, this video is kind of talking about it, and hopefully we can figure out what the fudge it is and where it's from and whatnot, so I can probably put a plaque on it to say about it. This is kind of like the research, the research part. Anyway, yeah, so this is, a switchboard. The theory is, maybe, I've been chatting on Patreon about it, and we've tried and had a little bit of a figuring out, and it's maybe a hotel switchboard. Because you can change the hotel rooms. Actually, you could change from the hotel rooms and sort of patch them in to other things externally. And it looks like maybe there's like 1, 2, 3 floors, maybe something like that. You can see on the rotary dial, that it's actually got lots of fast dial things for different things, but it's in French, so that kind of leads us to believe that maybe it's from France. It probably is if it's in French. Maybe it's from Canada, you'd never know. However, Caustic has quickly put together a translation image for this, and it's showing you now. There we go. There's actually been quite a few interesting comments on the Patreon about it. Frederick has actually been looking quite extensively into it and trying to figure out what it is, and we'll go into that in a little bit. But yeah, the thing is about this, and I love it. I mean, I haven't really worked with this kind of stuff, but look at that. you could service it just like that. You could pull it out, but if you haven't ever seen the back of a rotary switch, they are quite amazing. They're kind of flicking through. This one's, and you can see this one's flicking through for every number it's sending a plus. It's kind of flicking up, and then this one opens and closes as it, oh, just look at that. I'm not really sure. Maybe I might like sit down and figure out and fix this and work through it and stuff. Or I may turn it into a synthesizer, but I'm not really that keen on doing that because it's a nice object and I want to sort of keep the history alive with it. Maybe would be a shame to turn it into a synth really, but so the thing is this switchboard was actually built by Ericsson before it was Sony Ericsson, of course, and it was merged. But the theory is that it, based on the logo, which is on the telephone, and then it's broken down here. Frederick on the Patreon actually figured it out to be around 1942, but we're still figuring it out. And if you have any ideas on this, then please let me know because I'm really trying to figure this out and I haven't taken this apart yet. Ooh. Oh, I love that. Just look, you can even swap the microphone without any soldering because you can see there's 2 contact points and then it flicks onto the microphone. In fact, I've got some exactly the same that are spare for this. Oh wow, I'll have to go and find those. But then you pop that in and then you just screw it back up. It's like, oh, my microphone doesn't work. Let's put in a new one, and then I wonder if the top one does it as well. Oh, it's the plastic's so brittle. Oh, nah, I don't want to do it. It's like Bakelite plastic. And then there is this strange bit, which is obviously in French again. There's some buttons. I'm not sure. I've never really looked into Switchboard, and I'm not really of the age range where switchboards were all ever around. So you may need to fill me in and give us a little bit of a hand on this because I really haven't got a clue. You can see that underneath this reasonably ghastly blue, there is actually the original kind of veneer, which was a nice like varnished dark wood. And oh, I really want to get it back to that colour because the blue is just a bit clumsy for my liking. Oh, that would be so classy. Oh, look, it just comes off. So, I mean, I've got to think of a quick way of doing that without damaging the varnish underneath. But some people are theorising that this was actually put together, like bodged together from other things. However, the Ericsson logo is on here as well, and as you can see, it's been picked off, so it's only saying Rixie. Oh, beautiful. But this isn't why I'm doing the video. Basically, in the vlog post, it was asked to open it up and see what's inside, and I deliberately have not opened it up yet because I wanna go through the experience of opening it with everybody who's watching this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it around, which is reasonably oh, look, even the back's got the original colour, and I love it, except for the mist of blue, the nasty mist of blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up and we can see together what the fudge is going on. Let's have a look. Right, so they're flat point screwdrivers. There's only 2 flat point screws to get it open, and they don't actually come out of the back. They kind of stop themselves, so it's made for some easy servicing, that's for sure. Wish I did that nowadays. They probably do, actually. Oh, are you ready? What the hell? Okay, I just saw something. It was very strange. Right, anyway. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. So basically, the first thing that you see is this massive umbilical cord that seems to go, that seems to go from the actual switchboard over to, I guess, the master switchboard. Maybe this is a secondary switchboard to something, because maybe this goes over to a master switchboard, I guess, because there's no power or anything connecting. This is just a massive umbilical cord with, I'm gonna say, 50 wires, a 50 core umbilical cord. Yeah, pretty hench. But in here, basically, whoa, holy moly. Oh, it's definitely busted. It's definitely broken. There's some bits hanging off. Sign. I can't actually read that, but I'm sure we can read it together later on. And behind here, there is some, wow. So look at these patch bays. These patch sockets are absolutely amazing. I'm just gonna unplug. I'm gonna plug a patch socket in, and you can see it moving. Oh, you can't. Oh, yeah, you can. The amount of wires is madness. Absolute madness. And then on the back, there's these coils that are probably mechanically switching something. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a lot of relays. These are big. Are these relays? I guess they're relays. They're just switches, electromechanical switches. And there's these. I gotta be honest. I haven't got a clue what I'm looking at, but it looks cool as fudge. And then there's the actual wiring. So as you can see, there's not a massive amount going on. It's all seems to be a controller. It's going over to the primary switchboard, I suppose, and maybe this is for like a floor of the hotel. Maybe is it a hotel? Do we even know that? Is this just gonna come? Oh, one sec. Hey, okay. So I've managed to break it loose. So here is the hinge. Still not a massive amount. It's not much happening. Tiny little dinger down there, little bell thing. Look at that lovely blue back of a potentiometer right there. That's like awesome. Sadly, this bit looks like it's been damaged by whatever's been inside it. I have a feeling a lot of things have actually, if you look here as well, there's some wires hanging off, and then the capacitor. This capacitor is also is not connected. I have a feeling the umbilical cord being stored in the back might not have been the best idea, because there's a few things that are a little bit broken. But if anybody can think of what to do with it, whether to turn it into a synth or to keep it in its beautifully manufactured glory, or do I use it as a phone? And if I do use it as a phone, how do I do that? I've got a few ideas of how and what to do with it, but yeah, I just need a bit of information. If anybody has a clue about this stuff, then leave a comment, have a chat with it, and let us know. So yeah, that's the mysterious switchboard. If anybody knows anything about it, then please let me know, because I'll look into it, I'll figure it out, and we can figure out the history and stuff together, and then maybe I can make it do something. Who knows? As you can see behind me, some of the shelves have finally turned up. There has been a massive held up on most supplies and stuff, being able to get them and stuff, but it's coming along, and I've got a few of the Brawl and Cures kind of stacked up behind me. And yeah, I'm starting to figure those out as well, like putting plaques on them, and then probably starting to restore them and getting them fully functioning, because a few of them might go up in smoke, and you don't want that. But I'm more interested in the stories that they actually tell, because they're all reasonably similar. However, they've all gone through such different lives, and most of them have different wear and tear, and it's just really interesting because these things are nearly 60, 70 years old, and you know, they've been used by lots of things. In fact, there are a number of these that have got really interesting stickers on them. A couple of them at the top are actually from Marconi Research Labs. There's a couple from BAC. In fact, there's 3 or 4 from BAC. And I think there's a couple from Rover. And also, I've got some somewhere that are from Hawker. They've got little Hawker stickers. So I've just got to kind of sit down and figure out what they might have been used for in these capacities. And we'll talk about those in little videos like this, just kind of touching on stuff that will probably be going in the museum, and what is happening with the museum is still massively up in the air. You can see next to me, this is going to be tomorrow's video on the main channel, the 500 oscillator mega drone at the minute. But yeah, and yeah, I've been Sam, Look Mum No Computer, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe and to the Museum of Everything Else, and don't be scared to try it. Doesn't really work in this capacity, but I'm going to say it anyway. Take care.